O'Brien Court, where we have a matchup between LaSalle College High School hosting the Bonner-Prendergast Friars. We've got a good one here tonight. LaSalle's coming off a big, very important win over Cardinal O'Hara. They held that team to just 10 points in the second half, a great defensive effort. AJ, I know you were at that game. What'd you see?
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty close game to start. LaSalle went down at halftime, but I think they fought back. And again, as you said, a great defensive effort. Holding a team to 10 points in one half is very, very impressive, especially in the Catholic League where it's very tough competition, and it was at their home arena there at Cardinal O'Hara High School. So I thought that was a very impressive win for these Explorers to get it on the road and do it in the way they did.
And we'll take a quick break for prayer and the national anthem.
The Pennsylvania Interscholastic Athletic Association and LaSalle College High School promote and encourage good sportsmanship. We ask that you be positive in supporting your team. Please avoid abusive or inappropriate language. We ask that you accept the decisions of tonight's PIAA officials as fair and impartial. Thank you for your cooperation. At this time, we would ask that you please rise, remove your hats, and remember that we are always and everywhere in the holy presence of God. O God, in your goodness, you gave the Church, John Baptist de LaSalle, as founder of a religious family devoted to teaching and the patron saint of education. Grant that all our athletes and fans may be able this day to follow his example of unflagging energy in pursuit of a goal, absolute loyalty to his brothers, and generosity to his opponents. As he founded the Christian schools to keep young people safe from harm and to develop the talents you gave them, grant that these young men who play today may do so free from injury.
Exhaust repairs or your check engine light comes on? Trust Meineke to do the job right. And families have been coming to Meineke for years because Meineke works on any make or model vehicle. Same-day service, value, and trust. Meineke, doing car care right.
Be a part of the biggest live events. The must-see matches.
He's gone!
The game day celebrations. Experience live sports and entertainment the way they're meant to be seen. With Joe Hand Promotions, the global leader of live entertainment for bars, restaurants, and cinemas. Create unforgettable moments that fans won't want to miss. Keep the food and drinks flowing with watch parties that will bring customers in the door and expand dwell time. And watch as these visitors turn into loyal customers with exclusive content relationships with the nation's largest sports and entertainment providers.
Sports fans, welcome to Gentili's. Before the game or after the game, you don't have to travel far anymore. Come out to Gentili's Pizza in Exton for the best cheesesteaks and pizza you'll ever eat in your life, and I guarantee it. Let me take you inside and show you what we're all about. I mean, come on, look at that cheesesteak. Sliced ribeye, sauteed fried onions on a beautiful Karanji seeded roll. Cooper sharp cheese. That, my friends, is a slam dunk. So come to Gentili's for your best cheesesteak that you ever had in your life. That's gonna be our Charlie. This is our #1 seller, got Pecorino Romano. And we top it off with a little hot honey. Gentili's Pizza, Exton, PA. Can't wait to see you after the game.
The all-new Infiniti QX80 has redefined what a luxury SUV should be. A V6 twin turbocharged engine, available 64-color personalized ambient lighting and 24-speaker sound system, biometric cooling, Pro Pilot Assist, and so much more. Experience the Infiniti QX80 today at Faulkner Infiniti of Willow Grove and redefine your luxury expectations. To be sure.
At Burns Design Group, our passion for visual and literary design forges powerful, lasting brands, from nonprofits and small businesses to Fortune 500 companies. We create and refresh brands from the ground up and inside out. We transform culture. We drive growth, profitability, and market leadership. We're a group of hands-on veterans who hold more than 150 years of brand strategy and design experience. Burns Design Group. What's next? By design.
The stage is set, the stands are packed. It's number 1 versus number 2 in the standings in the Philadelphia Catholic League. May we see a precursor to a semifinal or even the final. Let's find out. We'll meet the Saints of Newman Goretti. Cody Colson and Deshaun Yates in the backcourt introduced first. And there's your answer that we posited pregame. E.J. Stanton will get the start instead of Stephon Ashley Wright, out with injury here this evening. Marquise Newsom, coming by way of ANC, played a big role on that team last year that advanced to and won the Friends League Championship. And then Al Njai, an East Stroudsburg commit as a senior, standing at 6'6", came by way of St. Mark's 2 years ago. Dylan Powell, the 6-foot guard, introduced first, just a sophomore. Great first step, good finisher. Excited to see what he can bring to the floor here tonight. Caleb Lundy, a 6'4" junior, wily vet at this point, gets into the lane. The key for him, making the right decisions in the offensive half court. He runs the show. And boy, is that a sight for sore eyes if you're an Archbishop Wood fan. Jaden Jenkins introduced third, 6'10" junior. Brian Donahue playing as good a basketball as he's played in his Archbishop Wood career, a 6'4" senior. And then one of the most proficient scorers in the Philadelphia Catholic League year to year, Brady McAdams, a Marist commit, first team All-Catholic and a 4-year player. Started as a sophomore and he's been starting for the last 3 years. John McBride is on the public address here tonight. He will get the crowd fired up. That's what he does. And I'm fired up. Hope you are as well. Carter Phil.
LaSalle foul number 4, Max Okabada, and that's his first, team's first.
It's Max Okabada at the top. He gives it to Tyler Branson. It's now Nick Neary on the perimeter. Back to Max Okabada. Okabada trying to set up the offense. It's inside to Neary. He has a size advantage on Jakeem Carroll. They swing it around to Pat Flaherty. Flaherty can't find anything. He goes to Max, and now it's inside for Price Alston. Price makes a move, but he gets a little happy on his feet and travels.
Yeah, it was a great look there to try and get it down to the big man in the middle. Unfortunately, a travel, but I think that's going to be open all game.
Cam Jackson inbounds it to Deshaun Holden, and they've got so many ball handlers on this Bonner team that can bring up the ball. Something to watch all night for the Explorers. Holden goes around the screen. He's going to the basket, but gives it off to Carroll. Carroll to Jackson. Jackson's inside. He can't find anything either. Jakeem Carroll back at the top, guarded tightly by Pat Flaherty. It's now Corey Francis. He's going to settle things down a little bit for the Friars. Francis runs off the screen, and he misses inside. Price Alston with the rebound, off to Tyler Branson.
Great defense there by Nick Neary to, hold Corey Francis there.
And what a finish from Max Okabada. He goes all the way under that rim and spins one in from the opposite side. Some full court pressure from LaSalle early. We'll see if that will continue. And it's going to be an offensive foul on Aiden Scott. If he gets in foul trouble early, Bonner does not have too many depth at that big position.
teams first.
Tyler Branson is going to bring up the ball, guarded tightly by Cam Jackson. Branson to Okabata. Okabata's going to swing it to Neary. Neary to Branson. He looks inside for Price, but decides to go back to Neary. It's Okabata in the corner, and he fires. Okabata misses a good box out by Aiden Scott, and now Corey Francis has it in transition. He's going to go all the way, kicks it out to Deshaun Holden. Holden to Carroll. Carroll shoots for three, and he makes it and one. Jakeem Carroll gets fouled as he's shooting.
Yeah, great finish there, just to hit that three-pointer. And another note here is that is Max Okabata's second foul already with 5:23 left in the first quarter. Obviously, Max Okabata is a big part of this LaSalle offense.
And we've seen other games where LaSalle has fouled three-point shooters. I remember in that Devon Prep game, they fouled Jaden Kraft multiple times, and it's really just inexcusable. It's free points for the other team. Bonner shows full court pressure. Branson and Neary are swing it back and forth. Goes to Okabata in the middle, and the LaSalle Explorers break the press. Branson now setting up the offense. He goes around an Alston screen, but has to move it. It's Flaherty in the corner. Flaherty to Branson. He's going to shoot it, and Branson falls down, no call. He almost gets his own shot back, but the ball just rolls to Corey Francis. Corey Francis trapped in that wing position. He gives it to Aiden Scott at the top. Francis off a screen. He's going to shoot it, and he drains it. You cannot let that guy shoot if you're LaSalle.
Yeah, that was just a great play by the Friars and just a great shot. But, again, Corey Francis, a great player that Bonner has.
And LaSalle goes from up 4-0 to down 7-4, a 7-0 run for Bonner. A careless pass there from LaSalle, stolen by Corey Francis, who tries to dunk it, but comes up just a little bit short, still makes the layup.
Yeah, Francis doing the smart thing there, just taking the points, making the layup with two of LaSalle's guards behind.
And this full court press has not been good for LaSalle early. Branson tries to lob one up to Neary, who misses, gets his own rebound, misses again, gets his own rebound again, and it's out to Branson. Okabata is going to try a three, and he knocks it down. When Max Okabata can hit one early, sometimes Max Okabata can find his rhythm for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a great thing for his confidence in this game. He does have all 7 of LaSalle's points.
And you mentioned the 2 fouls. If he picks up one more, he'll probably have to come out, and you wonder where the offense would come from at that point.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to try to find it with a Pat Flaherty or a Tyler Branson.
And there's Corey Francis inside. Just a strong move from Corey. He can score at all 3 levels, and I think he's already shown that today.
Certainly.
Neary's trapped. He gives it to Branson. LaSalle has to move the ball against this press. A good look from Alston inside to Neary, who gets fouled. I think a better job there from the Explorers of moving the ball and not letting the Bonner trap catch up to the passes.
Substitutions to the Explorers, number 10, Ryan Damon.
Branson's going to inbound it. A few screens from LaSalle, but no one's open. They finally get it into Okabata. Okabata is going to just hand it off to Branson, and LaSalle's going to set up their motion. Okabata goes to Flaherty inside. He drops it at first, but recovers the ball. It's Max on the outside once again. LaSalle's going a little bit small with Ryan Damon playing the small ball 5. Okabata launches up a high arcing 3, but it misses. Cam Jackson with the rebound. He's going to push the tempo a little bit, going right at Tyler Branson. Corey Francis almost walks, but he finds his teammate Cam Jackson, who he has been playing with since middle school. Jackson trying to work inside on Neary. A great spin move, but it's going to come up a little bit short. A great job from Neary staying straight up. Another sloppy turnover from LaSalle to give the ball right back to the Friars. Corey Francis misses the 3 at the top of the key. It's Flaherty in transition. Pat Flaherty can't get it to go, but Ryan Damon is there for the finish. We've seen him do that a lot, and it's just the effort from Ryan Damon that I think showcases his game.
Yeah, I think Ryan Damon and Nick Neary, as you've seen earlier in this game, both are excellent at grabbing offensive rebounds, especially for 2 guys who aren't of taller stature. And, you know, Nick Neary being a guard himself and Ryan Damon kind of a mid to undersized forward.
And we're under the 2-minute mark as Bonner leads 11-9. Nick Neary gets the tip. He's going to move it to Branson. A great pass to Ryan Damon, who finishes over Corey Francis. Great ball movement there from the LaSalle Explorers. And there's going to be a timeout on the floor.
Yeah, it appears Cam Jackson lost his shoe right in front of the table here at center court.
And I think a good 6 minutes of basketball here from LaSalle, considering the sloppy turnovers that they've had. To be tied up at 11 with this really good Bonner team is, I think, a good sight to see if you're head coach Ryan Ansell.
Yeah, I think it's great, especially you went up early, then Bonner had kind of that scoring run, but you've fought right back into it. So I think that's a good thing to see.
Corey Francis finds Deshaun Holden in the corner, and he knocks it down. Bonner's really showing these shooters that they have on the perimeter.
Yeah, they definitely have a plethora of options of shooters.
Jaden Carr's trapped a little bit, somehow finds his way out of it and makes the finish. He's a confident offensive player, and it's some instant offense off the bench for this LaSalle team.
Yeah, he's been doing a great job, especially since the start of Philadelphia Catholic League basketball plate has began. He's been a great option off the bench for the Explorers as another guard who can kind of score from a couple different levels.
And Mason Price is going to go over the back of Ryan Damon. A great box out to draw that foul call from Ryan Damon. He's played some crucial early minutes here for LaSalle.
Yeah, Ryan Damon's just done a great job being kind of that presence down low, but again, not being a super tall guy himself, but just kind of using his athleticism as well to grab rebounds and score in the paint.
Bonner's going to stay in this full court pressure. Ryan Damon's taking it on Corey Francis, but his teammate Cam Jackson comes away with the steal. He attacks the rim, and a foul call for Bonner. Cam Jackson's going to go to the line for 2. Great aggression from Cam Jackson there. Even though he's a little bit smaller, he has no fear of attacking that rim and either drawing a foul call or finishing the ball.
Yeah, that was a great job grabbing the steal a little bit past the three-point line and bringing it all the way down the court. While he's not able to finish the play with the layup, he can get to the line and shoot 2.
Cam Jackson, a very good shooter, and I'm sure he is at the line too. He is not likely to miss one of these. Jackson drains the second, and Branson has some room to work against this full court pressure. It seems like a little bit of a miscommunication from Bonner with a new substitute, Tariq Warner, coming into this game. Branson's dribbling up top. He moves it to Pat Flaherty. Flaherty gets doubled. He moves it to Carr. Carr in the corner, not where you want to be against the trap. He just dribbles out of it to Branson. Branson shoots, and Branson knocks it down. He knocks this game at 16. When Tyler Branson can get moving from 3 early, it's a good look for this LaSalle team. 3 seconds left. Cam Jackson needs to get a shot off here. He takes a step back 3, and it almost goes in, but nothing there for Bonner. It's going to be tied at 16 after that first quarter for LaSalle. How do you think that first quarter went, AJ?
I think if you're LaSalle, you're really happy with the result to be tied at 16. A couple different players scoring. I think the only thing that you complain about is Max Okabata having those 2 early fouls, but I think they're going to find a way to bring him in this second quarter just to get a couple minutes with his athleticism on defense and, you know, get his offense continuing to go. But without him on the court, it doesn't appear that they've really lost too much of a step. If you're Bonner, I think you're still proud of the effort you put out there. 16 points. It's a lot of points to score, but they've done a good job pressuring LaSalle, and, you know, we'll see how that continues throughout the rest of the game.
And I was pretty impressed with LaSalle's bench there. Jaden Carr came in, Ryan Damon came in. They both made early impacts for this LaSalle team, and against a team like Bonner that I think wants to run, they have a lot of guards that can dribble. You need a lot of guys to not get fatigued, so definitely an emphasis on effort, as Ryan Ansell always says as a coach. I know they go with TCC, trust, commitment, and care. These guys all have bought into that, I think, and it definitely helps them.
Yeah, no, definitely a lot of high effort out of these Explorers here in that first quarter. Let's see how both of these teams continue going the rest of the way.
Bonner's going really small here. They have Corey Francis, Tariq Warner, Jakeem Carroll, Deshaun Holden, and Cam Jackson, all guards. LaSalle's biggest player is Ryan Damon, so with the abundance of guards that Coach Cassidy has, I don't think he's going to shy away from going small when LaSalle does.
No, not at all. He has so many talented guards. It may actually be to their benefit because I'm sure they can all get outside and shoot from the perimeter, as well as just provide quick effort on defense.
Jaden Carr shoots a tough one against Jakeem Carroll. Maybe not the shot there if you're LaSalle, and it's rebounded by Corey Francis. Francis bringing the ball down the court. He lays one up and doesn't get it to go, but he's going to go to the free throw line for 2 shots. Corey Francis making his mark early in this one.
Southbound number 10, Ryan Damon. That's his first.
It's going to go on Ryan Damon. With Max Ogabata already in foul trouble, you don't want a guy like Ryan Damon, who's, I think, one of the 3 guys with size that usually plays for this LaSalle team, getting into foul trouble.
Yeah, you definitely don't want him, especially he provides a different, a change of pace from somebody like Price Alston being that huge presence. Ryan Damon's a little bit more fluid, can move a little bit better, so you definitely don't want him to be in foul trouble, and he's kind of that small ball center that you have, especially if Bonner's going to go, 5 guards, essentially.
And Francis knocks down the second, allowing the Friars to get into this full court pressure that they love with Cam Jackson guarding Tyler Branson. Branson's going to run off a Nick Neary screen and get doubled, but he does a great job of moving it to Pat Flaherty and not turning the ball over. Flaherty's dribbling up top, but he picks up his dribble. Holden's right on him. It's Neary versus Francis. Francis to Damon, and it's back to Branson up top. Branson trying to make a move, but he can't get anything. Now Nick Neary goes inside. Bonner wanted a walk, not called. LaSalle just resets it to Tyler Branson. And it's going to be an illegal screen on Ryan Damon. That's going to be too early on number 10.
Yeah, kind of what we just talked about. You didn't want that second foul, and it comes basically the next possession. Plus, it's a turnover, so not a great possession there by the Explorers. Hopefully they can pick it back up.
And a new ball handler for Bonner, you've got Deshaun Holden. He's going to be matched up with Tyler Branson at the top of the key here. He hands it off to Corey Francis, who gets to his mid-range jumper and knocks it down. You've got to get a hand up if you're Nick Neary. You can't let Corey Francis shoot that shot.
Yeah, you just need to, he can score from anywhere, but you definitely got to play a little bit better defense there to disrupt his offensive rhythm.
And you're not going to stop Corey Francis, but you just have to contain him and do what you can to limit his scoring abilities.
Yeah.
Mason Price is going to come back into this game for Bonner. He adds a little bit of size. He's a pretty tall wing, transfer from St. Elizabeth's in Delaware. And Coach Ansel will match that with Price Alston inside, along with Ryan Rang, who is pretty big but can also really shoot the ball. Branson's going to inbound it. He just goes to Price Alston, and it's a fake handoff. Alston looking for something. He goes inside. And the call's going to be on Aiden Scott. A good physical move there by Price Alston to get the foul. Sometimes we see him get pushed back a little bit by the defense.
Yeah, I thought that was really good for Price, just to be able to kind of move. And, earlier in the game we saw him. He had to travel, but definitely some good physical offense down in the paint. And get that foul on Aiden Scott and get him his second.
They're going to bring in Javon Banner, and it's right back to Price Alston inside. Maybe he does something similar here. He works, and little hook shot, and it goes for Price Alston. That's the type of shots that you want him shooting, the easy ones inside.
Yeah, with that big frame, I think he's able to easily finish really close to the basket, and that's the type of shot you want to see him take all game and for the rest of the season.
A high screen for Corey Francis. He attacks the rim off of it, and his pass gets tipped, but it gets to Price. Price goes to Holden. Holden driving in, a floater. It's no good, and rebound to Pat Flaherty. LaSalle ball with a chance to tie or take the lead in this one. Branson going to attack Cam Jackson. He gets a foul on Cam Jackson. Those two play AAU basketball together in the spring along with Max Okabata. They're all on Philly Pride, so they definitely know each other. And I think when players are familiar with each other, the competition's a little bit higher. Sal's going to inbound again. Pat Flaherty goes to the corner, and he gets an open three. Pat airballs it, a long one. Not what we usually see from Pat Flaherty, but I think if he gets that shot again, he should not be discouraged to take it. On the other end, Deshaun Holden gets a pretty easy floater, and unlike the last possession, he makes that one. It's 22-18, Bonner and Prendy with around 5.5 minutes to go in this second quarter. Tyler Branson holds the ball up top. Coach Ansel shouting out his orders for his team. Carr shoots a three. It's long. A rebound for Cam Jackson. Cam Jackson once again going to push it. He's going to try to get inside. He moves it to Deshaun Holden. Holden to Francis. Francis makes his spin move. A great pass to Aiden Scott. It's Tariq Warner in the corner for three. And another open three for Bonner and Prendy. Smooth lefty shot there from Warner. LaSalle needs to respond here. It's Branson. He tries to come off a Price Alston screen, but he's doubled. He moves it to Alston. Alston shoots a three, and he misses. Ryan Ansel, I don't know how happy you are with that one, but Corey Francis taking it down the court. He just goes up top and finishes. What a finish from Corey Francis. Corey Francis is really taking over this game right now. He just had that great look to Aiden Scott, setting up a corner three for Tariq Warner, and now he's doing it himself on the offensive end.
Yeah, that was just a great play by Corey Francis. Bring it into the paint, draw the foul, finish at the rim, and go to the line for one shot. But as you said, he's starting to take over this game, not just with his scoring, but with his presence and being able, to get other players for the Friars open.
Corey Francis misses the free throw. The lead's still 9 for Bonner. LaSalle, this offense needs to pick up a little bit. Okabata's going to bring it down, and it's going to be a zone look from Bonner. Damon in the corner. He goes to Branson. Branson to Okabata. Okabata attacks the rim where he's at his best. A nice move, but he's blocked by, I think, Corey Francis on that one, and LaSalle's going to have to inbound it once again.
It was a good look for Okabata, driving to the rim. Just hope he can finish there, but the Explorers get to keep the ball.
The ball's into Pat Flaherty in the corner against a strong defender in Deshaun Holden, and it's going to find its way back to Tyler Branson way outside of that volleyball line. Branson shoots a tough mid-range shot, and he knocks it down. Whenever LaSalle needs a shot, I think Tyler Branson's the guy that's going to hit those tough ones.
Yeah, he's kind of definitely the guy the Explorers are going to look to hit those tough shots and those clutch shots when they need them.
Corey Francis running off a few screens, but LaSalle forgets about Cam Jackson, and he makes him pay. A nice three-pointer from Cam Jackson. Once again, these Bonner guards, you don't want to let any of them shoot, and you let one shoot there, and it hurts you.
Yeah, all of them are so versatile, and, it hurt the Explorers there, just leaving one of them open.
Branson has it. He moves it to Rang. Rang thinks about the three, but it's back to Branson. Branson off the Damon screen. Damon rolls, but it's just not there for LaSalle. Rang once again. Now it's into Damon in the post. He's going to try to make his move on Aiden Scott, but he just wasn't big enough there, and Aiden Scott uses his length. Bonner moves the ball up the court to Cam Jackson, and it's an easy layup. Going to be a timeout for LaSalle. Bonner starting to run away with it in the second quarter. I think Coach Ansel needs to calm his guys down and definitely draw something up on offense, because it seems like they can't buy an easy bucket right now.
Yeah, no, Bonner's done a great job just extending their lead here in this second quarter. And I agree. I think the Explorers kind of just need to settle down a little bit and find their offense. I'd love to see them find Pat Flaherty, a great shooter. Get a play, get him open. You saw it on that inbound play, a very rare miss, especially the way it was. But I think those opportunities are going to be there later in the game, so hopefully they get something like that going.
I think we're off right now.
Oh.
Never mind. The audio isn't?
Great three there by Ryan Rang.
Bonner going to come down. Cam Jackson dribbling the ball. Corey Francis, Tyler Branson gambles for the steal but doesn't get it. And now Bonner's had an advantage. It's Cam Jackson inside, and he just floats one up towards the rim and gets it to go. Cam Jackson and Corey Francis have really been doing great this game for Bonner.
Yeah, that guard duo from the Friars has been very impressive thus far.
Max Okabata to Ryan Damon. It's now Rang, who goes to Damon. Damon to Branson. Gonna run Pat Flaherty off the screen on the other side, but they can't get it to him. It's Ryan Damon on the perimeter. He attacks the rim, and a nice look there from Ryan Damon. I think he thought about that three, but made a great decision to attack the rim.
Yeah, I think that was a great decision to just try to go in. Haven't seen Ryan Damon shoot too many threes this season, so I think it was a strong choice by him to know his strengths and drive to the rim right there.
And you know Aiden Scott has those 2 fouls, so he has to be a little bit careful on that defensive end. Maybe someone you want to attack if you're the Explorers. Jakeem Carroll is going to bring up the ball. Maybe a 3-2 look here from LaSalle. Jackson Carroll in the game, a really young, talented sophomore for LaSalle that's made big plays so far this season. Jackson attacks the rim, and he's blocked by Jackson Carroll. Jackson Carroll developing his game on the offensive end, but he's been a highlight of this Explorers defense all year, and he shows it again there.
Yeah, one thing I've liked about him all season is just the high-effort plays and the hustle plays that don't show up in the box score necessarily, whether it's deflections, getting in the way, obviously a great block there, but rebounds, everything like that. He's, still working on his offensive game, but as a sophomore, that's to be expected. But he's done a great job just providing some energy for this Explorers team.
A nice inbounds play there from Bonner, and Cam Jackson inbounds it to Aiden Scott, who gets fouled but gets a pretty clean look. Foul there on Ryan Rang. Aiden Scott's going to go to the line for 2. He can extend the Bonner lead to 10. Just a minute 23 remaining in this second period. Bonner is leading LaSalle 34-26. Aiden Scott drains the first. And I think Aiden Scott moves really well for his size. He's pretty fluid, moving around the court, and he's a great defender, He has a decent handle on the ball. And he makes the second, and his shot does look pretty smooth, too, for a big man.
Yeah, I think he kind of fits into that wing role, but just being one of the bigger guys on this Friar team, he obviously has to play that 5 position, but I don't really think that's where he would fit in on most other teams. But he can definitely shoot and definitely move better than most bigs in the PCL that he's going to be going up against.
Branson calls his play. A screen for Jackson Carroll, but it's not there. Max Okabata now has it on the right wing. It's back to Branson, who fakes the 3. Holden bites, but recovers quickly on defense. Carroll has it in the corner. Now it's Max Okabata trying to find his rhythm. He gives it to Branson. Branson wanted a foul, but no call there from the official. Cam Jackson attacking the rim, but he swings it out to Tariq Warner. Warner misses the 3. A nice opportunity here for LaSalle to get a bucket. Max Okabata decides to pull the trigger, and he misses. Rebounds Corey Francis. Corey Francis attacking with that left hand, and he gets it to go. Not a guy you want to see in transition.
Yeah, great basket by Corey Francis there, avoiding all of the LaSalle defenders and finishing strong at the rim.
Seems like LaSalle will hold for the final shot here. Bonner leads 38-26 with 10 seconds to go in this first half. Jackson Carroll holding the ball. He goes to Okabata with 5. 3 seconds left. Okabata makes a spin move. He gets to the rim and can't get it to go, but draws the foul. Max Okabata has 2 free throws to get it to a 10-point lead for Bonner. Once again, Bonner's leading 38-26 with 2 seconds remaining in this first half. Coach Ansell's going to check in Jack McCabe here. He's done that a lot at the end of quarters on the defensive end to make sure his really important star players don't pick up any not smart fouls. Okabata misses the first. He'll have 1 more before Bonner has an opportunity to probably attempt a full court shot, I would think. Little confusion on the substitution from Bonner, but the official clears it up. Max Okabata ready for that second free throw, and he gets it to go. It's 38-27. Substitution here for Bonner. Still a little confusion on this substitution. Cam Jackson trying to get in the game, but for some reason that I can't explain, I'm sure Bob would be able to. He cannot.
Yeah, I believe the explanation from the referees was no time had come off the clock since he subbed in after the first shot and then tried to sub in after the second shot. But again, no time off the clock. I'm not sure what the exact rule would be. I'm sure if they called a timeout, it could be different, but most times you don't see somebody check out of the game to check right back in within one foul shot.
And the Explorers trail 38-27. Something to note here, they held Cardinal O'Hara to just 36 points in the entire game last time. Bonner-Prendergast has 38 points in that first half. Definitely going to need to step it up on the defensive end to get back in this one.
Yeah, I mean, I think you played a great first quarter, both teams, especially if you're LaSalle. You were very content having it be tied 16-16 to begin the second quarter, and then LaSalle just doesn't execute as well on the offensive end, and, you know, the Friars do a great job of executing and put up 22 points. Very impressive effort by the Friars.
And we're going to cut the audio for a little bit here at halftime. We will be right back. And we're back for this second half as Bonner leads LaSalle 38-27. They're up 11 at the half. LaSalle was having some offensive struggles late in that first half. I'm Pat Burkhead here with AJ Carabello to my left and Jack Burns to my right. Jack Burns, one of the best cameramen in the state. I know that for a fact. So we're 30 seconds away from some more basketball for this second half. Let's see what both these teams can do. AJ, what do you think is the key for LaSalle to come back and get back into this game against a really, really good Bonner team?
I think for LaSalle, it's just going to come down to making their shots and, good shot selection. I think, we saw it the last game. They play a lot of really good defense. I'm not sure, as you said, they let up 36 points the last game against Cardinal O'Hara. They've already let up 38 here in the first half. So I think for LaSalle, it's going to be getting their offense going to try and compete with, the offense that Bonner has going. And for Bonner, I think it's just keep doing what you're doing. That second quarter probably shows more of what they're capable of, getting their shooters open and, spreading the scoring around. And it really all starts with Corey Francis. So if he can just keep up what he's doing, I think Bonner's in a good spot.
And we're seeing the starters from both teams that started this game. LaSalle in white, Bonner in green. Jakeem Carroll's going to inbound it. It's Bonner ball. They're in a little line near us here. Let's see what the action is. No action. It's just into Cam Jackson. Cam Jackson guarded by Tyler Branson. Gives it to Scott, and he comes around that screen flying. He gives it to Sean Holden, who flies to the basket. These Bonner guards are quick, very hard to guard. Yeah,
they're just starting off the second half right where they left off, just scoring quickly, getting their shooters and their scorers open, getting them into space and, letting them finish.
The ref's going to get a hold here on Jakeem Carroll. Max Ogabata liked his size advantage. Maybe not the worst foul in the world here if you're Bonner. At least Max Ogabata didn't get the ball, and it looked like a pretty good pass from Nick Neary.
Yeah, I think you're not going to complain too much about that if you're Bonner there.
Alston trying to go to work on Scott. He makes a good move. Alston crashing inside, and he gets it to go. Nice to see the young sophomore make some offensive moves and just get those easy shots inside the paint.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to see from Price Alston going forward this game, the rest of the season. He's kind of had his struggles, but that's the type of effort you want to see, just backing down a bit of a smaller defender and using that size and getting right next to the rim and laying it up for 2 points.
Bonner attacking the rim and then just kicking it out. We've seen that all game. They're going to get an offensive foul on Corey Francis here. He doesn't like the call, but it's an illegal screen going the other way. It's a Salle ball. 40-29, Bonner leads this one. 56 seconds have ticked off the clock in this third quarter. Around 7 minutes remaining. Cam Jackson sticking on Tyler Branson. He's done a great job on Branson all day. LaSalle finds Pat Flaherty in the corner and his second air ball of the game. That is pretty rare from a great shooter in Pat Flaherty.
Yeah, definitely kind of a rare off day for Patrick Flaherty. I mean, he hasn't taken too many shots, but I think just those two misses that he has are very uncharacteristic of what he normally does. But I still like to see him getting those shots up and getting open looks, and the Explorers designing plays to get him open because he seriously is a big-time threat from beyond the three-point arc.
LaSalle showed a little bit of full court pressure, and Bonner just got the ball into Corey Francis. I think they have those three smaller guards that sometimes you almost forget about how great of a ball handler Corey Francis is himself.
Yeah, Corey Francis, I mean, can just kind of do it all, but they have so many different options for ball handling that even if you take one away, they're going to just get it to another guard.
Another high screen from Bonner. Cam Jackson attacking the rim, and he gets it to go. That's a really great finish there from Cam Jackson. He's just been impressive on offense all day. Tyler Branson goes inside to Price. Price, a great pass to Nick Neary, and Neary shoots a three, but he misses. Price gets the offensive rebound, and Neary tried to save it, but it's going to be Bonner ball.
Good effort there from Price Alston, grabbing that rebound, unable to fully come down with it just due to a defender hitting it. And I don't know if Neary really should have gone for that ball, but I like the hustle because we really don't know who the refs saw that coming off of there.
Corey Francis once again going to bring up the ball for the Friars. guarded by Nick Neary. He's going to get a screen from Aiden Scott. Francis, a little hesitation. He's inside, and Maxwell Cabada ties him up. Great help defense there from Maxwell Cabada to get LaSalle another possession.
Yeah, great job not fouling, getting that jump ball, and, getting the possession to go the Explorers' way.
And Maxwell Cabada is a pretty gutsy defender. He's willing to gamble for a turnover or a jump ball like that almost every play. Maxwell Cabada is going to attack the rim, and when he attacks the rim, he's going to go up with it. He misses that one, gets his own offensive rebound, and makes it on the second shot. Aiden Scott just couldn't get position on Maxwell Cabada. We saw Maxwell Cabada turn around that O'Hara game with his offensive rebounds in the contest in Delaware County.
Yeah, it was plays just like that with Maxwell Cabada grabbing an offensive rebound and finishing the play at the basket.
Corey Francis takes a pull-up jumper, and he sinks it. I think he might have wanted a foul there, too. And he might have been fouled there. A nice shot from Corey Francis. Always good to see guys taking that mid-range shot and knocking them down.
Yeah, that mid-range shot is definitely underused by young players today, but it's very effective, and that was a great job by Corey Francis there. And, definitely wanted that foul called against Nick Neary, but still made the shot anyway.
Just a 30-second timeout for these two teams. LaSalle's going to come out of the huddle down 44-31. It's still the third quarter, and there is about 5 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. It's going to be LaSalle ball coming in. They need to draw something up on offense. We've seen Pat Flaherty miss too, but he can't be discouraged by those misses. LaSalle needs him to keep shooting the ball.
Yeah, he's a big part of their offense, and getting those three-pointers is huge.
There he is at the top. He's just going to hand it off to Okabada. The ball finds its way to Neary on the opposite side, and Max Okabada is taken down by Jakeem Carroll. I think Bonner thought he slipped a little bit, but the refs are going to get Carroll for the foul.
And that is Jakeem Carroll's fourth foul of the game, so that's something to note here for the Friars.
Mason Price going to check into the game for Carroll. He has a little bit of size. He's a very talented wing for this Bonner team. Okabada gets the ball at the top of the key. He's attacking the rim, finds Alston. Alston goes up with it, and he gets it to go. Bryce Alston showing his offensive skills today, and I think it's just been the simple, easy moves for him that have been most effective.
Yeah, that was a great play. Just a little pick and roll right there from Max Okabada to Bryce Alston to get him in the paint, and, a tough finish for Alston to get a chance at the line to get one more.
That's Aiden Scott's third personal, so him and Carroll are both in foul trouble, and good to see Bryce Alston knocking down a free throw. He's definitely had his struggles from the line, but when he can hit those, I think when he gets a little bit of momentum, he just plays better. His head is in a better place, as we've talked about. Cam Jackson goes to Mason Price. A nice pass to Deshaun Holden in the corner, and Holden can't make him pay on the three. Branson tracks down the offensive rebound. He's pushing the tempo, and they're going to call a double dribble on Tyler Branson. I think Branson thought he didn't have possession on that first bounce, but the official thought he did, and they're going to get him for the double.
Yeah, definitely kind of a hard play to officiate there, with that one referee kind of staying back with, Branson's back to the ball, the other two moving down the court with the motion. But I think I like the call there. Just, might have thought he didn't have possession, but probably did. And
LaSalle's got 4 on 5 here. Cam Jackson fell down on his move. Is Okabada in the corner, but Jackson recovers on defense. Once again, Price Alston inside. What can he do? He moves it to the corner to Nick Neary. Neary goes to Flaherty, and I think LaSalle should just reset this one. It's Okabada at the top of the key. Okabada to Neary in the corner. Neary just can't really corral the ball there, and Aiden Scott was going for that loose ball, and they're going to get Price Alston for a hold on that one. Bonner's coach Billy Cassidy showing his team how he wants them to play defense, kind of enacting it himself. Cam Jackson A nice matchup there between Branson and Jackson, two of the best 20-27 guards in this area, I would say. Deshaun Holden gets that high screen from Aiden Scott that's been so useful for the Friars. And Branson didn't even realize the pass was to Cam Jackson. Jackson, it's a little bit too strong, and LaSalle's back in transition. Branson trying to push the pace. He goes to Flaherty, and LaSalle's just going to have to bring it back out to the top. Branson goes into traffic, and he's going to walk. I think he wanted a foul there, but I don't mind the call from the official. I think he dribbled himself into trouble, and he got the consequence of a travel.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you. I think that's the right call. You know, dribbled into a little bit of trouble. I think if I'm Branson, I'm just trying to reset the offense and get it out to one of my teammates there.
And LaSalle's down 10, but they still have to be patient. There's a lot of basketball left to be played. You don't want to dribble into a lot of pressure or force any shots in this third quarter.
You still want to just try to get the best looks possible on the offensive end.
Strong rebound there for Price Alston. He's having a really good game today. Max Okabata is going to bring down the ball, and it's back to him at the top of the key. Okabata to Branson. Branson just scanning the court, trying to find something with his smart basketball mind. Oh, and a foul there on Aiden Scott. That's 4 on Aiden Scott. I think Coach Cassidy's going to have to make a substitution there, and maybe LaSalle wants to keep using Price Alston inside against maybe a smaller defender now.
Yeah, I mean, he's done a great job against Aiden Scott thus far, and, you know, gets the 4th foul called against Scott, and now he's on the line shooting 2.
Price misses the first. 1 for 2 from the line on the day. LaSalle trails 44-34 with 2:57 remaining in the third quarter.
You'd like to see the Explorers try to take advantage of the fact that they're in the bonus here for the rest of the third quarter.
Price gets the second one to go. 2 for 3 is pretty good for Price Alston. I know he's really working to improve his game from the free throw line, which is a place where he's struggled in the past.
Yeah, I mean, I think Price, being a young sophomore, he's still developing his game, but, you know, every time he could take steps forward, especially at the free throw line, and become even more of a threat down in the paint to score, whether it's, you know, layups, dunks, or just getting to the free throw line, the better you're going to be.
Cam Jackson and Corey Francis playing a two-man game, and Corey Francis really putting pressure on that referee by attacking Tyler Branson hard. They're going to get Branson for the foul there. Not much you can do there if you're Tyler Branson. The mix of speed and physicality that Corey Francis attacked with there is almost impossible to stop.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be very hard to stop.
The inbound pass was long, and 2 Explorers overran it. Javon Banner is able to get the ball, and Coach Cassidy will call a timeout here for Bonner. They lead by 9 with 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the third quarter. LaSalle still within striking distance. They've kept themselves in this game. I think it's going to take a little bit more offense, but they've done a much better job defensively in this third quarter.
Yeah, it's definitely been very evenly matched here in this third quarter for both the Explorers and the Friars, so you want to see LaSalle continue to keep up this effort and not let a quarter like the second quarter they played deter you, and slowly work your way back into this game, whether it's getting open shots or maybe taking advantage of Price Alston or Ryan Damon just being a little bit bigger in the paint.
And I think LaSalle's been a team that's been a little bit inconsistent throughout games. They've put some games together where they've played a really good full 32 minutes of basketball, but I think today we've seen them kind of go off and on with scoring and defense, and when they can put it all together, they're a really good team, but they just need to do that late into this game.
Yeah, I think you said it perfectly. A full 32 minutes of good basketball. They just kind of need to play that, or, you know, in a couple other cases, they had a great overtime win against Devon Prep, but, you know, you need an extra 4 minutes of effort against Father Judge, and you kind of lose pretty big there in overtime against the Crusaders last Wednesday night.
And Deshaun Holden tried to attack there, but he traveled. LaSalle's going to have the ball with a really great opportunity to close the gap even more on the Bonner lead. Branson up top. He picks up his dribble. He's able to move it to Okabata. Okabata tries to get physical inside, and oh, how did he get that one to go? Max Okabata knives his way inside and somehow flips it up into the rim.
Yeah, kind of an incredible finish. I did not know how that play would end, but I'm glad to see the Explorers put 2 more points on the board as a result.
Holden for 3. He misses. An early shot from Bonner. Maybe stay more disciplined. And Ryan Damon comes back on the other side, and it's just a 5-point lead. A nice little run there for LaSalle. It's 44-39 with 1:41 remaining. AJ, how has LaSalle been able to close this lead even more?
I think LaSalle has just put up really good defensive effort. Bonner hasn't cashed in on a lot of perimeter looks and some of their scoring opportunities, and LaSalle is taking advantage of that by rebounding and not letting them get too many second possessions and just having really good offensive possessions themselves. That was a great selfless pass to Ryan Damon to get the basket right there and cut the lead to 5 points.
Yeah, I think the effort in this third quarter has been a lot better than it was in the first half, and they're playing together, as you mentioned. When this LaSalle team plays together, they might not be as talented as Bonner is, but if they're able to move the ball the way they have been for the past few minutes, they're definitely going to keep coming back on this Friars team.
Yeah, I think you said it. I think LaSalle, if they're playing to their fullest capability, can really hang with anybody, and you're seeing it right now, cutting this deficit. And they're really just playing to their strengths and getting open looks and, playing really good defense. I think that's the cornerstone of everything that they do. Tough defense, make the other team work for every basket they're going to get, and then on the offensive end, just cashing in on your opportunities.
Aiden Scott's back in the game. Maybe someone you want to go at on the offensive end if you're Price Alston. Try to draw his 5th foul in the third quarter.
Yeah, it's worked pretty well so far today for the Explorers, so we'll see how Coach Ansel takes advantage of that.
Interesting defensive look here as Cam Jackson drains a 3. LaSalle had a 3-2 going there, and it was their 3 biggest guys at the top. Not what you usually see, but nonetheless an interesting look from Coach Ansel and the Explorers.
Yeah, definitely a very interesting look, and the Friars took advantage of it right away, getting one of their best shooters open.
And a nice move from Price Alston there. He spun around Aiden Scott. He couldn't get it to go with his left hand, but that's a great move from Price Alston, and you can see his offensive game developing just in this game.
Yeah, he's done a great job so far this game, and I think it's really helped his confidence as well, just continuing to attack down in the paint.
Max Okabata gets the inbound inside, and they're going to get over the back on Price Alston. I think they might have had Pat Flaherty in that corner running off the screen. Tyler Branson elects to go into the crowded paint with Max Okabata. I know Pat Flaherty's missed 2, but I think a guy that you want to keep shooting if you're the Explorers.
Yeah, you definitely want to have him continue to shoot.
Some confusion here from the official.
Yeah, maybe an issue with the clock. It's showing 60 seconds, but I believe the clock operator, Jason Isley, just perfectly timed 1 minute left.
Nothing I've ever seen, but Bonner's going to inbound the ball here. LaSalle showed pressure but kind of backed off. Tyler Branson going to defend Cam Jackson 94 feet, and Cam Jackson's going to stay calm. A very good ball handler, nothing to worry about if you're Jackson. It's now Holden at the top. Definitely a speed advantage for him over Ryan Rang. He might be able to blow by Rang.
I predict the Friars here might just wait for the last shot unless they see something get open.
Cam Jackson at the Explorer logo. They're definitely going to hold now under 25 seconds, just waiting to set up that last look that they won. And Tyler Branson is going to get the 5-second call on Cam Jackson. I think that's what happens when you try to waste time sometimes. If LaSalle is able to stay in front of Cam Jackson, the Explorer has that 5-second clock that they can call to force a turnover.
Yeah, and you could definitely, at least from our end here, the Explorer bench definitely calling for those 5 seconds. But it's good to see the Explorers play defense and not give up there and become stagnant, waiting for the Friars to shoot that last shot and getting an opportunity of their own.
Branson has the ball. He goes inside, goes up with the right hand, can't get it to go. And they're going to get a foul on Bonner, I believe.
No, it's going to be called on LaSalle's Ryan Damon on the rebound.
3 on Damon. And LaSalle did not have a foul to give there. Bonner is going to be at the line. Not what you want to do with 5 seconds left in a quarter. Allow the other team to go down and shoot free throws with no time coming off the clock.
Yeah, definitely not ideal for the Explorers, especially after getting that 5-second call to get the ball back yourself to end the third quarter. You now let the Friars go down and shoot 2 free throws and leave yourself 5 seconds on the clock.
It's 48-39, Bonner with the lead. 5 seconds remaining. Cam Jackson misses the back end of his free throws. Okabata with 2. With 1, he goes up, and he gets fouled by Mason Price. And you see it on both ends. Not what you want to do at the end of a quarter.
Yeah, not ideal for both teams to end this third quarter. Getting a foul with 0.1 seconds left on the clock, but essentially the last shot. But Max Okabata did a really good job making it a point to put pressure on him by going up for that layup.
Max Okabata misses the first free throw, but he has been shooting it a little better recently. He had a pretty decent day from the line against O'Hara. He has 1 more to cut the Bonner lead to 8. Okabata misses the second 2. Mason Price fouls, but doesn't hurt Bonner in the end. We'll be right back for the third quarter, or fourth quarter, by mistake. And we're back, 1 quarter remaining here in Winmore at Obie O'Brien Court. LaSalle trails Bonner and Prendy 48-39. I'm Pat Burkhead, and we're on Bob Long Sports. I have Jack Burns to my right, the best cameraman in, I would say, the nation, and AJ Carabello to my left. You don't get to do that many games with us, but how's it feel to experience this one on the air?
Yeah, it feels really good. I mean, this is an exciting game, and I think we've had 3 very different quarters of basketball from both teams, but I'm excited to see what this fourth quarter culminates in and, see how the Explorers try and make a comeback and, make it exciting.
It's going to be Bonner ball to start. 8 minutes on the clock. 8 minutes for LaSalle to try to come back and Bonner to hold their 9-point lead. Deshaun Holden's going to inbound it to Cam Jackson. Jackson back to Holden up top. Bonner definitely going to take it a little bit slower in this fourth quarter. Holden attacks the rim and a really quick move. He gets the end one to go. A nice move there from Deshaun Holden to be aggressive and use his speed to his advantage.
Yeah, that was just a great job. I mean, took 10 seconds from the start of the fourth quarter, but Bonner still being aggressive, and I think that's what allowed them to build such a big lead in that second quarter, just being aggressive and using all their strengths on offense, and we'll see if they continue to do it.
And they definitely, as Deshaun Holden misses his first and only free throw, you want to take some time off the clock, but you also want to keep your foot on the gas. If you're too cautious, you can see LaSalle creep right back into this game. Okabata goes at the rim, and he misses the layup. A tough one from him. Francis, it's stolen by Patrick Flaherty. He finds Ryan Rang, and Rang is going to run the floor. It's Branson in the corner. Branson, a lob to Max Okabata. Okabata comes down with it, and I think they're going to get a held ball here. Yes, a jump ball. It'll be LaSalle's possession.
Yeah, great job by Branson to find Max Okabata right under the net, but an even better job by Bonner not fouling, getting that jump ball, which will still remain in the Explorers' possession, but now the jump ball arrow turns.
Patrick Flaherty has the ball at the wing. He moves it to Tyler Branson. Branson, LaSalle's just going to move it around, swing the rock around the perimeter. Okabata to Branson. Branson attacks a little bit. He gets inside and can't finish with the left hand. It's a rebound for Corey Francis. Corey Francis slows the game down a little bit. It's going to be a high screen from Mason Price. Francis can definitely find his own shot if he wants. He attacks the rim, and he doesn't get it to go, but draws the foul. Another really physical move inside for Corey Francis. He's done a great job of getting to the rim in this one.
Yeah, he's just done a great job all around, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him start to take over in this fourth quarter if Bonner especially remains keeping their foot on the gas, as you said, just keeping that offensive tempo up. I think it's going to run through Corey Francis.
Francis had 15 points just in the first half. I know he's averaging close to 20 points in the PCL season as he makes his first free throw. 6:47 remaining. Bonner leads LaSalle 51-39. Francis converts on the second free throw, and now it's 52-39 Friars. LaSalle going to check in a little bit of size here. Nick Neary, maybe not as tall, but definitely very strong, and Price Alston on the inside, who's had a pretty good day for the Explorers.
Yeah, both players here very strong on the glass, very good at rebounding, so you'll see how that plays in the Explorers' favor.
Patrick Flaherty gives the ball to Price, who finds Max Okabata inside. A great pass from Price Alston, but an even better cut from Max Okabata to find the open space in that defense.
Yeah, that was just a great play by two teammates who were on the same page. Price staying up and knowing Max Okabata was open and, being defended by a smaller guard.
Tariq Warner pulls a three, and it's rebounded by Max Okabata. Pretty quick shot there from Bonner, not one you would expect them to take. Patrick Flaherty comes up with a tip and can't get it to go, but Nick Neary's trying to track down that offensive rebound, and his hustle pays off. The ball is going to be off to Sean Holden, and LaSalle has an opportunity to cut the lead to single digits.
Yeah, that was a great job by Nick Neary. As I said when he came in, just a great rebounder, especially on the offensive glass. And you wouldn't think it being, a 6'1", 6'2" guard, but he puts everything on the line when it's offensive rebounding.
Max Okabata going to come off the Price Alston screen. Another one from Price. Patrick Flaherty has it in the corner. He goes back to Max, who goes to Tyler Branson. Branson going to calm down the offense a little bit for the Explorers. Let Coach Ansel call his motion. It's Nick Neary inside in the paint. This is where he succeeds, and he can't get it to go there, but he got a decent look for Nick Neary.
Yeah, if you're the Explorers, you're not going to be upset with that look by Nick Neary. A great job there, just couldn't complete the play.
Corey Francis is a little sidestep three there. Shot you're willing to give most players, but if it's Corey Francis, I don't know if I want him shooting anything.
Yeah, he's so hard to defend that I'm not sure the Explorers had much of an option, but a great job by Francis to shoot that three.
55-41, Bonner leads with 5:14 remaining in the second half. Max Okabata is at the free throw line, and Aiden Scott will foul out.
That will be Aiden Scott's fifth foul of the contest, which is the limit of personal fouls. So he'll be coming out of the game, and we'll see what Coach Billy Cassidy has for the remaining 5:14 of the game.
Max Okabata has another free throw. Definitely a guy that works on his shot a lot. I always see him shooting around at practice, just trying to make his shot a little bit better, because once he can extend that game to the perimeter, he's going to be even more dangerous on offense. Okabata misses the second, but LaSalle is going to retain possession. Good effort from Nick Neary and Price Alston. I know Coach Ansel's put an emphasis on this LaSalle team to crash the offensive boards on free throws.
Yeah, and I think also just a little bit of miscommunication with the Friars. They seem to have 2 or 3 guys in the area in position to rebound, but again, Neary and Alston both doing a good job trying to get an offensive rebound.
Branson goes to Okabata. Okabata sizing up Cam Jackson. He definitely has a size advantage. He takes a fadeaway jumper and gets it to go. Max Okabata has been explosive on the offensive end for the Explorers. 55-44, 4 minutes and 45 seconds remain in this one.
Yeah, that was a great look by Okabata, and just a great shot and finishing over a smaller defender right there to cut the lead to 11 for the Friars.
to Sean Holden, setting up the Bonner offense. He hands it off to Cam Jackson. Forces the Explorers to switch. Max Okabata. That 5-second count going for Bonner. Cam Jackson going to attack the rim against Bryce Alston. He is going to travel. I think he got a little panicky down in that paint with Bryce Alston defending him. Definitely a big size advantage there for Bryce Alston.
Yeah, Alston definitely has that size advantage, and, you know, just a walk there by Jackson.
Branson setting up the Explorers set. They try to get the ball inside to Max Okabata, but he has to come out to the perimeter to get that ball. A great matchup here between Max Okabata and Corey Francis, two of the best players in the Catholic League. Okabata swings it to Bryce Alston, but it's right back to Okabata in the corner. He takes a three, and it comes up well short. Jakeem Carroll gets the rebound. Carroll fakes the slowdown and attacks a little bit on Pat Flaherty. A great job from Flaherty to just stay in front of him. Now it's Corey Francis on the offensive end, matched up against Max Okabata. He jabs. Francis just dribbling at the top here. He runs off a Mason Price screen, and he's just going to pull it out again, wasting a little bit of clock in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, the Friars can definitely be very patient here on the offensive side of the ball. They're up 11. There's no shot clock yet in the PIAA and the Catholic League, so they're going to make the Explorers come and pressure them really close to center court.
And we know Max Okabata likes to try to get those steals, and he reaches across the body up to Sean Holden there, and I think a pretty obvious and clear call for the official.
Yeah, definitely the right call there. Okabata's third foul. Hasn't fouled since early in that first quarter, which is really good, and it's allowed him to stay on the court and, you know, be a catalyst for this LaSalle offense.
Full timeout on both sides. It's still 55-44 late into this fourth quarter. LaSalle's going to need to turn around quick if they want to get back into this game against, once again, really good Bonner team that is loaded with talent.
Yeah, I think if you're the Explorers, you're just going to have to apply pressure and try to get some double teams towards center court or in the corners. If you're Bonner, just making good passes and not turning the ball over. Don't rush any shots, but definitely take any open shots that you get. Take advantage of those, but, you know, they definitely do not need to shoot the ball right now and can definitely find the best shot possible.
And on our co-workers stream, Bob Long and Carter Philman, they've got a good one at Archbishop Wood. Newman Goretti is in Warminster leading the Vikings 62-60. Definitely a game to keep your eye on. Two of the best teams in the PCL and two of the hottest teams in the PCL at that. Jakeem Carroll inbounds it to Cam Jackson. Jackson guarded by Tyler Branson. Jackson just taking it slow. You see that 5-second count from the official. He goes to Corey Francis, who's matched up with Jaden Carr, a very good perimeter defender, but a tough task in Corey Francis. He swipes at the ball, and he just gets the arm of Corey Francis. LaSalle's starting to pick up some fouls here, and I think Bonner may be shooting. And they won't be shooting, but LaSalle has no more fouls to give. One more, and the Friars are headed to the free throw line. Cam Jackson going to work on Tyler Branson. He just moves the ball to his teammate Corey Francis, and we're going to see a lot of this from Bonner. Francis trying to get around Jaden Carr. Carr playing tough defense on a really good offensive player. The Explorers send the double, but Francis spins right out of it, and Holden could take that one, but I think Billy Cassidy just wants his team to run the clock here. Corey Francis doubled once again to Jakeem Carroll, and Bonner's doing a great job of moving the ball around. LaSalle just can't even catch up to it. I know there's an old phrase that the ball moves faster than the player, and it's definitely doing that right now.
Yeah, the Explorers are just having a tough time with one-on-one defense, but there's certain players you definitely don't want to send to the line, like Corey Francis or Cam Jackson, to shoot free throws now that the Friars are in the bonus.
It's 55-44, and I believe this Bonner possession has gone on for at least a minute here. It's going to be Deshaun Holden at the free throw line with 2 shots. 4 fouls on Ryan Damon. Holden can't get the first to go. Max Okabata is going to check in for Ryan Damon. We mentioned Max Okabata had some early fouls in this one, but he hasn't really picked up too many in the latter part of this game, and I think really smart play by him. We've actually seen that in multiple games where he picks up early fouls, but then just plays smarter in the second half. Holden can make the second, and it's 55-44 as we head under 2 minutes in this game. LaSalle's going to need to get some quick shots up, and Tyler Branson does just that. Branson gets it to go, and it's a 9-point lead for Bonner now. LaSalle to get back into this one. Definitely going to need some turnovers forced with this pressure. A crazy play there. Max Okabata was on top of Corey Francis. Not something you see too often. Francis will be shooting, I believe.
Max Okabata, that's his fourth, team's fifth. On the line, shooting 2, Corey Francis.
And I think for Bonner, if they make their free throws, they're going to get out of Winmore with a win.
Yeah, I think it's important to just convert your free throw attempts, but it was a great job by the Explorers there to score quickly, but just not a great foul by Max Okabata there to not even have the ball inbounded and, give the Friars the opportunity to get to the line right away.
Francis gets the first to go. We've seen free throw shooting be a key in multiple LaSalle games this year. Devin Prep. I know the Father Judge game, Father Judge missed a bunch. Francis misses his second, and Branson's going to attack, and now he's fouled. Tyler Branson gets to the free throw line at one of the highest clips in the PCL. I know Jack McGuire had a stat when he was on here that he nearly had more attempted free throws than attempted shots. So definitely very good at getting to the line is Tyler Branson. And in that other game, Archbishop Wood takes a 65-64 lead over Newman-Gretty. Branson misses the first free throw. Not something you see too often from him either. Definitely some uncharacteristic shooting from the free throw line from both teams.
Yeah, Branson is typically very good from the free throw line. As you said, he gets there quite often, but he's definitely good at converting those attempts as well. So definitely a surprise miss late in this game here.
56-47, Bonner leads with a minute 35 remaining. I feel like the lead's been 9 for Bonner for most of this second half. Bonner breaks the press. It's Deshaun Holden in the front court. He makes a little move but doesn't attack, and it's just going to be a timeout for Bonner. LaSalle definitely had Deshaun Holden in a position where they could have forced the turnover, but a smart timeout from a veteran coach in Billy Cassidy.
Yeah, Bonner had 2 timeouts remaining, so they still have 1 left, but I think that's a great call by Billy Cassidy just to get out of that double team, reset your offense, and take some more time off the clock or force the Explorers to send you to the free throw line.
And I think when you're in that corner type position with 2 defenders on you, definitely not a good spot for the offense. I think probably one of the highest percentage places on the court where turnover is forced in that corner with, I know coaches like to say, an extra defender acting as the baseline.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in that corner, you can't go backwards in any direction, and going forward, especially some defenders around you, it's really hard to get the ball out. So I think that's just a great timeout by Coach Billy Cassidy not to turn the ball over and reset his offense and maybe get a play or 2 going for the rest of this game.
LaSalle definitely probably going to send some traps on Bonner here. They need to force a turnover down 9 with a minute 25. It's not likely, but crazier things have happened in the sport of basketball.
They definitely have. Let's see what the Explorers do here.
LaSalle defends the inbound well. They just fire one up to Jakeem Carroll, and Coach Yancel calls for Max Okabata to pressure him. Okabata guarding Carroll as time ticks off the clock. Precious time. The ball moves to Holden. He gets it to Francis. Francis guarded by Okabata. And Francis attacks the rim, and he gets the end 1 to go. At that point, you might as well just foul him before, and now he's likely going to get 3 points here as Bonner leads 58-47 with a minute and 9 seconds remaining in this contest.
Yeah, that's just a great play by Corey Francis. He also took advantage of the fact that Max Okabata now has 4 fouls and cannot give him a foul, or else he will not be in the game. And we know the Explorers are going to rely heavily on him down this stretch if they want to try and come back in any kind of way.
Francis can't get the second one to go, and Pat Flaherty gets a good look from the corner. Another miss from him, and Neary is going to foul Deshaun Holden on the offensive rebound. We know Nick Neary is a very passionate defender or not defender, but rebounder on the offensive boards, but you can't let that turn into fouls.
Yeah, some great hustle by Neary, but again, just allowing Bonner to go down and shoot more free throws, and they haven't done the best job converting them so far down the stretch, even though their lead is currently at 11 points. But you'd love to see the Explorers do a better job of taking advantage of those misses.
Holden makes the first. He's had a pretty nice game today. Definitely got to the basket at a very high level. Can he make the second? Yes, he can. And there's under a minute remaining. 60-47, Bonner leads. LaSalle tries to roll it down the court to save that precious time. Okabata attacks the rim, and he gets fouled. A lot of fouls in this fourth quarter.
Definitely a lot of fouls. Obviously, a lot on the Explorers and some intentional ones to try and get Bonner to the line, but that is Bonner's third of this fourth quarter.
Okabata makes the first. And I don't know how good of a chance LaSalle has at this game, but definitely some good in-game practice for Max Okabata at the free throw line. He misses the second, but I think he knew he was going to miss and tried to get his own rebound.
Yeah, jumped a little bit early there, trying to grab his own rebound, and the officials caught him.
Bonner is going to try to inbound it to Holden, but it's knocked out of bounds by Pat Flaherty.
Great hustle there by Flaherty to try and force the turnover and steal that inbound possession, just unable to hold on to it, but definitely a hard play to hold on to.
Cam Jackson looking for somewhere to inbound it, and that place is Deshaun Holden. Holden makes a nice move on Okabata, and Okabata going to get fouled by Max Okabata. That'll be it for Okabata today. A good effort from him on the offensive end. Definitely a little bit more sloppy on the defensive end, but we know he has that talent defensively to shut down really good players.
That is his fifth, and the limit of personal fouls.
Ryan Rang going to be the man that comes in for him. 42 seconds left in this one. 60-48, looking like it'll go Bonner and Prendy's way. Deshaun Holden back at the free throw line. He misses the first. Holden lines up the second. And he makes the second free throw. LaSalle gonna inbound it to Pat Flaherty. Flaherty looking for a shot, can't find one. Good defense to not foul by Deshaun Holden. It's now Tyler Branson, and they're finally going to get a foul on Deshaun Holden, and it looks like Branson will be headed to the line. And they won't be headed to the line. That's just 4 on Bonner, but one more, and LaSalle with now under 30 seconds remaining would go to the line, and there you go. There is the foul. Tyler Branson going to shoot 2 free throws, but his team trails by 13 with 28.7 seconds remaining in this game.
Team fifth on the line shooting 2, Tyler Branson.
Branson misses the first. Jack McCabe going to come into the game. He's a senior leader, a captain on this team. He's great in the locker room, as they say. He's a very good leader for this LaSalle team, and he holds his teammates together through the good and bad times. Corey Francis gets the ball off the inbound. He gives it to Cam Jackson. Jackson goes to Holden, and Holden finds Jakeem Carroll in the corner. And LaSalle is going to double in that corner. Carroll can't find a way out. Timeout, Bonner. 14.5 seconds remain. Bonner leads 61-49. LaSalle doesn't want to give up just yet. Another thanks to our great cameraman, Jack Burns. He's done a great job all game. I know he's had to include that scoreboard as we are running on some less equipment than usual as we have 2 broadcasts going tonight, but a great job from Jack Burns despite not having his usual camera.
Yeah, he's done a great job tonight. I also think it's been really hard for him to not offer any commentary just due to the limited amount of headsets with mics, but I'm sure the next game you'll hear a lot of comments coming from his side of the bench.
Maybe not the most exciting night for LaSalle fans, but definitely something to look forward to on Friday. LaSalle hosts Lansdale Catholic on the yearly Silent Night. All students will come to O.B. O'Brien Court dressed in any type of costume that they want to wear. Usually it gets pretty loud in here, and they'll be quiet until that 10th point, but when they do score the 10th point, the students will go pretty wild.
Yeah, should be a pretty exciting night against a Lansdale Catholic team, but obviously a favorite of all students and fans of LaSalle College High School basketball.
The clock's going to expire and Bonner wins 61-49. A good win for them. That's going to be it for us. Thanks again to AJ Carabello and Jack Burns for joining me tonight. I hope everyone has a great night.